My Sundays not being here, I'm not the same. I always feel there's a part of me missing. I always feel there's a part of me missing. I thought by now I would have gotten over it and know that every other Sunday I'm here. But I can't just get over it because this is a place that I want to be every Sunday. Thank God for all He's doing, the love that He has poured in us, the life that He has given unto us, and the life that He has made us to be. In Him was life, and the life was the light. Oh, man. The light, that lightness, the path of every man that enters the world. So before your mother thought of meeting your father, whichever way, that light your light had already appeared. Yesterday, I had the privilege to be part of a beautiful ceremony. And you know me and my asking questions. Everything is a question asking for me. Beautiful, Rev. Beautiful. If I have the opportunity, which is not going to happen anyway, to marry again, I think this would have been my photocopy, something that I will look up to. Beautiful. Only about 70 people counted. And when the event had finished, when they had finished the wedding, you know, all the citations and the incantations, whatever you want to say, I take you as this. I didn't hear for better, for worse, and for in health and in all those things, because it was a white lady and then a black man marrying. So you can understand a bit of it. But after everything, when they finish their part, I didn't see a reverend with that your white thing, the registry, you know, this kind of registrar, they will come, do everything they will stand for. So after that, then I turned to my sister, to her, and I said to her that I didn't hear amen. If you ask them husband and wife, I didn't hear any amen. I didn't hear any hallelujah. Does that mean that Naminimana? And she also came from her point of view. I mean, it's a two people. If you believe that God, then that means there is God in the marriage. If you don't believe that God is God in the marriage, then there's no God in the marriage. Obviously, my next question was going to be: so can there be a marriage?
The question even comes to: is there anywhere God is?
So you see, the reason why I'm bringing this is because for too long we have made Jesus, Holy Spirit, only available when we think that we have believed, when we think that, okay, I want to have it in mind that He is there. So if I don't have it in mind, He's not there. We can let Him be there, or we cannot let Him be there. Much as it might sound a bit hard for some of my papas to grasp, I'll say it anyway. Doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. You know this. I'm only putting it out there for those who are in that state of confusion. If Joshua decides to disown you as a father, disfather you, or whatever word that is suitable for, because you don't father anymore, live in your house, or make Joshua your son, or makes you a father to Joshua, not because he made any pronouncement that I take upon you as my father. It is because he carries your DNA. So if Mami Amapon you can decide to leave you today, you can say nothing. Because she said that I will take you as my husband. So she can decide to leave you. Joshua cannot. He can leave the house, but he cannot change the blood in him. He cannot change his DNA. You are God. You carry the DNA of God. For no one yet hated his own body. You are the flesh of my flesh, the bone of my bone. Irrespective of what you want to think of God and of you, even if I say God is inside of you, it's even an understatement now for me. In him is the fullness of the Godhead, but it's you. In you is the fullness of the Godhead. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit is in you. That makes you the Father, that makes you the Son, that makes you the Holy Spirit. It cannot be possible that God will be absent because you have decided to not think of him. Whether you think of him or not, he is ever present. Your ever present help in times of need. He has poured so much of himself, even so much. He has poured all of himself into us that there's nothing left of him. That is why I cannot think of God somewhere, because that would mean there will be some God. I cannot think of God anywhere. If I see you, I've seen God. If I see me, I've seen God. If I see Terry, I've seen God. If I see Joshua, I've seen God. And just as Joshua said, whatever the universe does to himself, it does to you. And that day you will know. So as John said, that as he is, so are you in this world. Whatever is possible to the Father is possible to you. Whatever is impossible to the Father is impossible to you. There are a lot of things that are impossible to the Father. Sickness is impossible to the Father. Poverty is impossible to the Father. When we talk about poverty, it's not only you having, not having money. Me, I still not around me. I mean, when it comes to physical cash, I'm in deficit. But I'm not. Disappointment, disgrace is impossible to the Father. I want you to walk in that understanding that all that concerns you, all that concerns you and your family can only be good, can only be pure, can only be light, can only be life. It cannot be any other way. Thank God for this afternoon. I thank God for the invasion of wisdom, for the invasion of understanding. Those of you who only listen to us because of Reverence English, I thank God for the invasion of English that you have not heard before. That's also good. I do enjoy it. Thank God for the invasion of truth. Thank God that light is hitting your reality at this very minute because you have chosen to be part of what is happening now. You will not live the same. You will not live without understanding. You will not live with any shortages, but you will live fulfilled. You will live filled. You will live with wisdom that you've not experienced before. You will begin to wonder as they did. They said to the disciples, they speak as if they have been with the Jesus. You will speak and people will indeed, you know, indeed you have been to a place, and that place is Wi-Fi. God bless you. Rev, please take over.
Sir. I want us to, for the next 2 minutes. Just enjoy presence. Gently relax and feel every detail of you. With your in-breath, I want you to scan from the soles of your feet all the way to the crown of your head. And as you breathe in, feel every grain of breath, feel every molecule of breath. Imagine it being sucked from the air through your legs, passing through every part of you, up your lungs, through your throat, all the way to your forehead, to your pineal gland, feeling it on your scalp. And if you're out of breath, I want you to scan from your head all the way down, following every molecule of this holy breath as it runs down you. I want you to do this 7 times. And as you take the very last breath, I want you to briefly open your eyes and observe 3 items within the periphery of your vision. And as you observe those items, I want you to close your eyes again and now harmonize your external with what you see on your inside. And as you rightly do so, you're armed with this understanding, as we say in our mandate, you are not here. Sacred life is here, glorifying itself in you, as you. I want you to hear, listen to your soul sound this vigorously, vibrantly. And I want you to do something weird. The 3 things that you open your eyes and you saw, and you brought back into your inner world. Imagine yourself as these 3 objects or substances that you saw even as you open your eyes. Imagine yourself as them. And embrace the intelligence that make these beings possible. The wisdom and the knowledge that is encoded in them. Feel it. We're going to give thanks. Give thanks. Amen. Ooh. We're doing day 3 of the practice of conscious giving. And we will aim to finish this today. For those of us who were here last week, in fact, it's not even those of us, whether you're here or not, the notes are always there. The link is always there. So not being here physically at the time is not an excuse for not knowing what transpired. I can guarantee you, if you were to share $1 million to everyone, you will be chasing me for your money. You wouldn't tell me that you were not here. I wasn't here. So let's refresh ourselves. Last week, or the week before, so far with the practice of conscious giving, what have you heard? What has resonated with you the most?
Hallelujah. Yes, the act of conscious giving. Last week, I've watched the video. I've read the notes. I'm reading this snippet of the notes that has been shared on the platform. I think last week you did say, or you brought it to the understanding that we ought to be people who are able to give without expecting a reward. I shared it the last 2 years. Last 2 years Christmas, we were in the house and then somebody knocked my door. He come up, the person came up, it's a she came up with a bag of rice, oil. So we had a chat and everything, and then she came to me, oh yeah, excuse my man. And I said to Mary, the last person that I'll ever think to come to my house with present. And from what she said, I just felt to bring you this item. I just felt to bring to you. I'm only saying this to the effect of what you said. She did that not expecting anything from me. She knows obviously I can afford them. And when me receiving them, there are some people that if Rev, you give me something, I appreciate it. It's not, I know you give it to me anyway. There are some people that I don't expect anything from them. Not that they can't give me something, they can give me anything that they want to give me, but out of the bloom, they just show up to show that love and appreciation. I think moments like that, I believe it's what we're talking about. Being able to bless someone with a substance without having to think that this person someday would pay me back. Or when I'm also in need, this person can also help me. And I think mostly in the culture that we come from, we tend to do that a lot. When I'm in need, this sort of family can support me. So let me also support that family. Can we ever go out of our way Just to go on the street on a Christmas day, somebody that you don't know anywhere, and then bless that person. Somebody that you will never see again. I haven't done that before. To bless somebody that I will never see again. All the things that we are studying is bringing.
You're already doing it now. You are blessing somebody that you don't know.
well, I'm blessing somebody I don't know, but in that terms of giving your substance. I
understand what you mean, yeah.
Giving your substance, it has always been my close-knit, friends and family. And sometimes subconsciously, I don't lie to you, subconsciously, people that can also be of help when you are in need. And it is true that enslaves you, because you are always at that point of you are giving up, because when you are short, that person can help you. So you're always afraid of scarcity. So whilst you have in abundance, you are giving to those who can also pay back in times of need. That becomes bondage for you. You are always in that cycle of, okay, let me give because I'm also expecting. Let me give because I'm also expecting. You give, and then somehow, nature will take off you, because that is what you want to happen to you. You want to receive back because you have given. And so you will lose it, and then it will come. Back in the days, I think I've said this to you before, Spencer. You say that when they be, we don't know where the cash will come from. We always had money to spend. And that boy will let us spend money unnecessarily. We go to a restaurant, and he will tip more than the price of the food. When it comes to tip, that's why he ended up in US. When it comes to tipping, even again, Spencer number one. And somehow we always. And these things, you don't put your mind to it. You don't think anything of it. I think that is what you are bringing home to. That is what you are saying. That is the conscious giving. Be in that place of giving fully, not expecting anything, and not only to people that you think can also be of help when you are in need. Last week, that was my take home.
Thank you, sir. No. You can type in the chat if you want. I know you're not going to speak, but you can type in the chat if you want. Just type to let me know you're here. Beautiful. I honestly, I was just thinking about it, and I'm not sure what else it is to be said that I haven't said with this teaching. I can't overly state this point that avoid believing anyone is in need. I put that on the promo feed again, and for me, that is the crux of it. The other is only an extension of you. I'm saying this because someone texted me on the side. He said, Rev, I don't want to post my comment beneath that. I know that you said this over and again. You posted this. I've got a question on my mind, but I don't want to come across as I'm arguing with what you're saying. But if we don't see people as being in need, how do we go to their need? And I said, maybe it's just an issue of language, but feeling sorry for someone, you're seeing someone as needy, you're seeing someone as beggarly. All that is doing is expanding your consciousness of lack. It's only expanding your consciousness of need, and it doesn't expand your consciousness of abundance. The other is an extension of you. Jesus said, because you haven't done it for the other, you haven't done it for me. The other is you. I shared this with someone yesterday. I said the Bible is loaded with so much goodness. The issue is we read it and we don't understand exactly what is being said. She was sharing a business that she's doing with me, and I told her, look, there's something, there is a secret in the story of the Good Samaritan, or the story of the man who fell among thieves. Tells me one thing: friends and family will never. Your success of your business is not dependent on friends and family. Success of your cause is always in the hand of strangers. The prophet has no honor in his own home. I've said this a few times. I have people who have walked around me for years. I listen to their conversations. I pay attention to our interactions, and I still ask myself the same question that Jesus asked: "O faithless generation, till how long am I meant to suffer or tarry with you?" You have conversations, and I'm like, this thing that you're talking about consistently, this is the solution. That is the key. I've shared this with you over and again. But what? They see it as normal conversation. They don't take anything away from it. They love the sound of it in their ears. They don't put anything to use. They don't put anything to practice. And strangers who don't have the benefit of close association are enjoying the blessing, and they are enjoying the release, and the testimonies coming over. I'll screenshot some messages and send you that on Messenger. Someone pulled one of the series that we've done on what it means to be human. And in it, he said, "Oh, you said you're going to write a book around this. Is it ready?" It's like you made a statement in there to the effect that I am the pinnacle of the Father's creation, and that humanity is at the summit of divinity. It shook me. And it began to change everything that I do. Thank you. My favorite statement. This is the reason why I open my eyes. Things like this cheer me up. Every time I take a screenshot and I say,
that is the miracle.
They cheer me up. I was having a chat with Mary yesterday. It's like, wait, you've said this, but the last time you mentioned it, I'm like, why have I not noticed that?
She's Kubolo church member, don't mind.
Who told you she's Kubolo church member? Where did you get that idea from?
She's Kubolo church member.
You know, but I'm just trying to say that sometimes it becomes just tying in with what you're saying about where you least expected that charitable act to come from. You see, I think I'll make that I'll make that a focus of my talk today. I'll throw my list away. Let's talk about that. And yeah, yours, Z. When we talk about giving, and I'm not sure if you've realized this. There was a question on my mind this morning. Maybe I'll come to that later. Whether or not it's something that I started to ask last year, and this morning in a chat with someone, it popped up again, and I was just laughing. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just in the development. You know, we talk about for God so loved the world and He gave His own. I am not sidetracking. I'll come back to, you know, the way I talk to you. I'll come back to where I started from.
Whichever direction you go.
But for God so loved the world and He gave, and then preachers who preach, and you know, like love gives and love, and I just asked myself this question over and again, and I've given this analogy a lot of times. Is it true that the true evidence of love is given? Is it true? Is it true? And I use giving here sparingly in the space that we normally use. Is it true?
Yeah, I was even going to add that, because in the space that we are, giving is only limited to substance.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think, well, so are you asking the question like for us to answer?
Yeah, I'm asking for us to just have a thing. But if you've got something to say,
no, I mean, with my understanding now, I think that's true. But with the experience I've had in the past and what I've known in the past, giving has always been associated with love. Okay, if you love somebody, you must be able to give. If you're not able to give, it means you don't love the person. And that's what we've been made to understand. And rightly, as you said, in the space where we are, even with the giving, we've narrowed it to a certain form of giving. Even if you come into our churches now, we talk about giving, it's more to do with substance, money. And so you have, for example, you have somebody who is very dedicated, who do all the other things in church. I'm using church, quote unquote, as in the form that we know it.
Yeah,
I things that we have been. So you have this poor woman who go for every convention, come sweep, do everything, spend all her time, but doesn't have the money to give. So when I'm talking about givers, we can only mention those who are able to give big substances. That's how we have limited giving to. So in the domain that we come from, yes, giving is, or giving shows how much you love somebody. Giving shows how much you love somebody. If you give, you love God. If you're unable to give, so you don't love God. Yeah.
Interesting. And then we get in the space. It's actually it's intriguing how where you ended it with giving being evidence, or you say giving, you give to God because you love God, and when you don't have to give, you don't love God. And people used to think like that, and then Jesus gives us the story of the widow that gave her mite, and then shakes the paradigm and introduces us to a different reality or a different dimension of giving, where the weight of it is not, or the value is not determined by quantity, but by what it's costing, or basically what it's costing the giver, or what it means to the giver, not necessarily what it's costing the giver, but what it means to them. So we say that several times, that I've got this, I'm not using it, I don't like it, let me give it to someone. It's true that the fact that you may not require something, or you may not have need for it, doesn't mean another may not have need for it. So then we give of things that we don't particularly need in a particular space, so that it could be a blessing to someone who may need it. And my only challenge with that, as I tell people, is you don't give away. And I've said this, I've reiterated this in the previous weeks, that we give to expand our being, we give to expand our love, we give to expand our peace, we give to expand our joy in others, And we're not giving necessarily, we don't give away. And we don't give what we don't want. I don't want this, so let me give it to someone. No, that is not an enriching or an empowering mindset, in my opinion. Yes, you may not have need of something and they give it to another who you probably have considered requires it or needs it more than you do. But it's fine. But it shouldn't be, oh, I don't like this. This person can have it. And on the other extreme is when someone gives, you have something and, oh, I can't give this away because someone gave it to me as a gift. Seriously, someone had it and they gave it to you as a gift, but you can't give it to someone else because you have become so attached to it because this special person gave it to you. And as a result of that, I can't give it to someone else. There's something not right there, in my opinion. And to the question of is given being the evidence of love, I'm sure I've probably given this analogy to you before. I'm a poultry farmer, or I'm a livestock farmer, and I'm rearing my sheep, my cattle, my poultry, or however you want to pronounce it. Jasha, is it poultry or poultry?
Pardon?
Is it poultry or poultry?
Poetry.
No, poultry, as in birds. Is it poultry or poultry? I've not actually poultry. It sounds like poultry to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so when the farmer is feeding diligently the livestock, is it because he loves the livestock, or he's just fattening them for a cash out?
When it comes to that business, it's more of a cash out.
but that is given, isn't it? That's also given, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're just preparing it for the harvest. So we need to kind of re-examine some of these narratives sometimes. But I'm not going to belabor on that. It's something that I intend to treat at another time. To be fair, I say we're finishing this week, but I'm going to add 2 more weeks just for the benefit of this conversation. Yeah, I'll add 2 more weeks. So yeah, avoid believing that anyone is in need. I the sister who asked me that question, I honestly know that you're struggling with it. I know that you're struggling with it, but to what benefit is it to you? To what benefit is it to you if to consider someone as being in need? We have used lots of phrases around this and built a lot of concepts around it, which are not necessarily supportable by spirit and by nature. And these are what we're looking to kind of address, or some of these are what we're looking to address. It was Brother Ishmael who shared a story with me of 2 women who were very successful, very rich women, and one of them, out of the abundance that she had, she would go out and she went out in the street, look for poor people, as many poor people and destitutes as she possibly can have, brought them in. It was into her house. She built a massive house, brought them in, fed them, clothed them, provided for them, catered for all their needs. And the following year she went, and there were twice as many as that number of poor people in there in the destitute, brought them in, did the same thing. She kept doing that until she died. She kept doing that. Eventually she didn't have a lot of resources to keep doing that, and she died, and she went to heaven. And then on a scale of 1 to 100, her charitable deed or her impact was rated at 5%. But the society saw her as a very kind and a very generous woman. And then it's a story, but there's a moral to the story. Okay. And then this other woman also, rich, same, she saw the need in the area, or she saw, in quotes, the need and the destitute and the poor in the neighborhood. So she went out there. She rather than go out there and fetch them in to clothe them, feed them, and make them, make them okay, make them dependent. What she thought of was build a factory. So she built a factory, and she had facilities in there that could allow some of them were handicapped, physically handicapped, will allow them to have some gainful employment. Okay, so she brought a few of them in, trained them, equipped them, and they were helping as factory hands, and then they were producing out of that, getting paid, and then having food on their table, and also to support themselves and support the people that they care about. Following year, she went there were twice as many, and she did the same, and she kept doing that until she died. The society saw her as poor, as a bad person who was exploiting the poor. And when she died and went to heaven, and her acts were rated, she was rated 95 out of 100. What's the moral of the story? I'm asking you.
Moral of the story is when you get money, open business.
Huh? What do you get money to do?
Open business.
Cheddar said, there was a video of Cheddar that I shared recently. So he was having one of these meet and greets, and a gentleman asked him that he has money. Why is he not that? Why is he not helping the poor? And it was like, if I give up my money to the poor, very soon I'm going to be poor like you. When I listened to the video, I'm like, this guy is just hitting truth. But people, it will take a lot for people to kind of grasp it. Yeah. It's truth. In my opinion, what he's saying is truth. It's like, if all I'm doing is just giving my money and just going out and helping them give my money to everybody, I'm going to be poor like you. But this is how it works. If I set up enterprises and then you give me you offer a service and I give you something out of that for the service that you've offering me, I'm empowering you, and I'm also getting empowered. I don't know where you got that from, but that is exactly what I've been talking about. I'll share that video with you. I think I just pounced on it on the internet a couple of weeks ago. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You see, to answer the sister's question on she not being cool with the idea of me saying or the need for us to avoid believing that anyone is in need. I have been doing this since last year. So I do get people who routinely, I'll say, expect they expect at the end of the month, no fuel. Okay. So I told myself last year that all of these, every time from last year, instead of me giving you something every month, let's do business. Same principle. I share with you ideas. If you're interested, let's do it. You're now getting empowered. The focus is not genuinely. I don't need that money. Genuinely, okay. But it is to break the cycle and the consciousness of dependency. And finally, two of them embrace that, and the story is just there. And a few others, the moment I mentioned that and I made the suggestion, they pulled away, offended. So that really tells me you want substance, but you're not ready to till the ground. It's as simple as that. And there's not even a business, or these are not jobs that you break your back to make it happen, but could potentially even reward you 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much than what I would give to you. It kind of tells you where the mindset is. See? So I think the two other sessions that I have added on arbitrarily, we're going to use those to kind of talk about receiving a little bit and how to receive from life. I think that's key. We do talk a lot about giving, but I don't often hear preachers talk about receiving. The only
give and you shall receive.
You know, someone said humorously that he was in a meeting that this pastor had gone to. He was having a service at the university campus, and it's in Nigeria anyway. At the university campus, and asking the students or asking for donations from these students in excess of 1 million naira and 2 million naira and 10 million naira and stuff like that. And like, if my son happens to be there, and so basically, I think someone came up and they asked him where he had gotten the money from, and then he said that it was the school fees, and the supposed prophet took the money. And the gentleman was saying that if that was my son, that you are going to start your prison ministry straight away, because I'll make sure you go to jail. You take my son's school fees in the name of God is going to bless them. You know, we take out of the substance of supposedly include the poor in that mindset. And when people run into that, we have been there, done that. Man, one time, goodness, that man knows the story. I'm not going to mention that man's name. Very, very popular. He has been a mentor at some point, and you know, these popular TV evangelists. I took my credit card. I paid $1,000 out of my credit card without even thinking. Back in the day, you know, you didn't have the money. Yeah, question, man. And I look back and I'm like, wow, experiences, you know. But thank God that we are wiser now. And I feel like you get what I'm true. You kind of get what I'm driving at, you know, and you get yourself into debt, and then you're still going to be told to sow your way out of debt. And they'll organize for you what's called debt cancellation services. Supernatural debt cancellation services for God to tell you. You know, when the pastor needs, when the pastor or the man of God needs money, you pay. When you need money, you still pay. Anyway, I think I saw Bishop join. Is he still here? Oh, the bishop is here, and I'm talking about Bishop's sleeping by the child. I'm in trouble.
Oh no, you're not. I'm driving. Truth man be shared. It's very important to bring these things out. People are waking up these days, so it's very important. I've been there before, so I understand. You know how sometimes you get there, it's like some I don't call it a spell, like that duress thing to give and all that. I don't have any problem with giving, but that kind of sense of you have to like go, yeah, you know. So I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Oh God.
You know, it's just it is something else, and like we get in this space where and go for and I make us go for me crap my bread.
I told you about the watch issue, yeah. When that guy told me to buy two expensive watch, but God's about to do something for me. I didn't have expensive watch back. If God wants to do something for me, this is my letter to buy 2 expensive watch before he does something for me. Anyway, I used to be a child. My Bob is here to see another.
Oh, but no, there's actually a quotation to support that, because the widow went and borrowed vessels. Oh, you have to go and borrow too. Oh God. Brother Ishmael says this, and I really love it. It's something that when I heard it first, it's kind of stuck with me. He says, in fact, I've done a TikTok video on that, which I haven't published yet. Say that God does nothing for anyone, because God does not see anyone outside of God to do something for. God does all for himself. And all of us, your instruments of God, through which God is coming fully into his magnificent expression. That's why I now struggle to see another human through whom God is, or the magnificence of all that is divine, is showing forth as needy. They probably might not have come to an understanding. And that is even subjective, because you're only seeing them as needy in terms of something that you have that you think they don't have.
Yeah.
You may have a car, they don't have a car, you think they need a car. No, he might have peace of mind that you are struggling to grab. You see how subjective it can be. Based on what are you calling someone needy? It's all subjective. Because through each and every one of us, life solutions are happening. Life is birthing solutions through each and every one of us. Talking about dependency, I'll chip this in, maybe two more things, and probably we can wrap it up. I'm not sure if you made this observation. When you overly give to someone, I'm not sure if you've heard it before, we've experienced it before, where someone overly gives to another for a long time, and the person is not able to give them back in any way, shape, or form at any time over that prolonged period. Creates discomfort.
It does. And there's a story to it. I don't know if you shared it or I saw it on Facebook, of this family who, they were rich, they had money. And the neighbor did not poor. And so every day they would come to this family, they're not being any money or food items or anything. But once every month, the mother of the rich family will go to this house and ask them for salt. So they stand on the wall, have you got salt? And they want to give, the poor family will give the woman salt. So it's happening for a long time. And one day the son asked the mom, why do you go to that house for salt? You know, they always come to us for support, for money, for all those things. Why do you still go to them for salt? And the mother said to the son, go to them for salt because I want them to be able to come to us anytime they are in need. Okay. I want them to know that we appreciate the fact that they come to us.
Yeah, I shared it.
For them to also come. And then, rarely, as you said, if somebody receives for a long time, always receive, and is not able to give back, two things happen. It gets to that point that whoever is giving becomes weary and tired, and then, because at some point, if without a good understanding will think that, well, I'm always giving, why is he not, giving anything in return? On the other hand, the person also think that I'm always receiving, why can't I give back to this person? And will be forced to do something for the person when even they cannot. So I think
I can't say we are about to also how. I do understand what they mean when they say that, because it creates debt, or it creates indebtedness.
So I was just waiting for next week and next 2 weeks, as you said, to talk a bit more about receiving also, because mostly we do talk about giving. What about receiving? Because we don't talk about receiving in church. How do you receive? When you are receiving, how do you, there's a lot of things, I believe there's a lot of things, surrounding receiving also, because it's not just about giving. It's about receiving. I was waiting for the coming weeks. But I would think that in your giving, doesn't matter how much you have and how less the person you're giving to have, it should get to a point that it make it comfortable for the person to be able to come back. And one of the ways of making it comfortable for the person to come back is also being able to receive something from the person. Some way, somehow, you ought to be able to receive something from the person. It doesn't always have to be substance. It can be you can go to the person and then see the person's advice, the person's opinion on something. Once the person knows that he's making impact in your life as well, the person will feel comfortable to come to any time they are in need. But because with us, giving is mostly substance, as we've already said. Somebody can have an advice, somebody can have something that they can share, but because it's not in monetary value, somebody said to me, this country, you can do everything for somebody, but the person gives you £100. Once it is money, the person has helped you more than you have. You can decide to do school run for the person, take their kids to school the whole year, do whatever errands for them. Once the person bought you basically £100, that is more significant than all the help that you've offered them, because all we think of giving is money. So we're waiting for next week and next 2 weeks to talk about the other side of it, also receiving, and then we can do the equation, balance the equation, and then see how to be able to give and how to be able to receive as well.
As you were talking, this scenario also came to mind, which I've been a witness to a few times. How someone can be there for another person, help them through and through, whether they are siblings or friends, that they dare, support them, provide for them. Just give to them. Created dependence out of them. I just want us to really look at this. I'm not sure whether to call it a condition or a state of creating dependency without giving. It's something that I'm liberating myself from. That's why maybe I'm talking about it. And then it turns out well for them in the course. And now it's time for them to also be kind to the one who has been generous and benevolent towards them throughout their life, but they don't want to have anything to do with the person. They sometimes even undermine them or totally ignore them, or that's why I say you have kind of bitten the hand that fed you and stuff like that. Why does that happen? All those kind of things. Why does it happen? And it's very common. I've kind of thought into why that happens a little bit, but I just want to know our thoughts. Why does it happen that you show someone so much kindness, so much goodness, and you're just there for them through and through, and then it ends up in the long run, they don't even remember the goodness that you've demonstrated towards them, and don't even come to your need, or don't even come to you in your time of need as well. Why is that? How does that happen?
But I would think that one reason would be just as you said earlier on, dependency. You've created that dependency. They've depended on you to the point that now they don't need you anymore. There's nothing, there's no relationship, there's no give and take sort of relationship there. All they knew was just receiving because they were in need. Now they are not in need anymore. So they don't need you. I think that could be a reason as well. On the other hand, you will think that the person's understanding of giving is different from yours or whoever was offering the help initially. So you are giving out of that conscious giving. You know, you need to give because that is who you are. That's what you have to do. You are giving, seeing the person as an extension of yourself. So you're not giving because the person is in need, but you are giving because that is you. You are fulfilling another aspect of yourself. You're giving to another aspect of yourself, but the person doesn't see it that way. So it's your awareness. Once awareness is different, and the other person's awareness is also different. So that could also be a reason. But it does happen. I mean, this is life situations. I mean, if you've not have experienced it before, where you are in good terms with somebody, you have a relationship with somebody, the support and everything, and then you think that, well, now what you were supporting the person with, he's got it already, and then your relationship becomes like whimsical and capricious. There's no relationship anymore. I've experienced it before, and so it's worth talking about.
Bishop.
Yes, sir. I like how the premise why you guys. I mean, of course, I've not been here for long. You know how I guess you talk about that time and how you're talking about that. Giving, somebody said giving is like taking money from your right pocket and putting it into your left pocket, giving it to yourself in a way. That premise to me is very strong, and I like what you read about what Brother Ishmael said. And regarding what you just said about how come sometimes you give to people or you express yourself or extend yourself to not the other, yourself in a way, if that makes sense, and then it comes back in a way that is not nice. I guess what you said and also what Apostle has also said is they are true. Some of it is that. Then again, to be honest, sometimes it's not even the person the person being ungrateful or whatever thing the word is. Again, things happen, perception, interpretation, mental issue, and all that. I mean, but I can't sit here, except I know for sure, and somebody demonstrates some form of ingratitude or whatever the word is. And I just conclude that, and then I sit there and say, oh, the person is being ungrateful. I can say that, but what is informing that? Where is he at? Where is she at? Is it just towards me? Or is a space or room that he has come to or she has come to with regards to his or her relationship? Something is doing his or her head in. A lot of things are happening and stuff like that. Again, I've seen people where equally where people have said, I'm so sorry. For this so and so months or years, I've been going through this. Nobody knew about this. I've come to a brink where I nearly took my life, ABC. So people that were helping me, I saw them as my enemies. I mean, I really wanted to just let everybody get out of my life. And so I was nasty and messy to people. Not that that's not my nature, but that's how I got into. But how come you stuck with me? And so sometimes I've been around a little bit to know that sometimes for me to say this person, that's why I when you say this person is bad, I can't say that because I really don't have the full picture of why they're behaving the way they're behaving.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, my little study tells me about psychology that, you know what, it takes a little thing for this brain to just begin to function. I mean, to operate, not function, operate silly, and all that. People that made up people. I've listened to forensic psychologist, no, forensic, I've forgotten one of those areas. And he said, he can't say people are murderers, or people are evil. He says, I can't say that. And this is an expert in the field. He said, the reason why I can't say that because what I know about this brain says this amazing angel can all of a sudden just twinkle of an eye, just behave a certain way, and then come back and say, oh, why did I do that? So it says
free videos on
it's
the
just,
YouTube Kids app. So kids can bounce to kids.
are you good? Are we good?
Yes, Rev.
Okay, sure. Okay, so when he said, I say yes, because I've thought about it for years now. So now when I tell my kids that you don't see any bad thing in people, I say no, you don't understand. I mean, before that, I had even done psychology, but when I did it and also I listened to these experts, I kind of understand. I mean, look at yourself. Why we all get angry, and then when you come to us and say, I mean, why did I get angry about this? I mean, this was written nothing, and they say, what's wrong with me? And that's wrong about this, So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So
I get it.
so sometimes an equal yes, people can be.
So that was got that thin line between sanity and insanity, as I said.
Yes. So sometimes making conclusions sometimes can be. I'm not saying make excuses for people, that I won't say, but still, it's sometimes difficult for me to say that he did this, then that mean this. Well, maybe I don't have the full picture. I don't know the full thing. I mean, I'm not a woman. Women give birth, and I hear there's something called postnatal, whatever. And so this one becomes some quote monster. I'm sorry. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. And I say, what is wrong with you? Now, if you don't know some of these things to do with women, and you hate them because, I mean, you nasty to their mother-in-law, nasty to their sisters-in-law, nasty to everybody, and it's because some chemical reaction is playing against this amazing woman, and so they behave in the way they behave. So sometimes conclusions are, again, I'm not making excuses, but sometimes it takes a lot to be able to say this or that or the other. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, sir. That is, it is the truth. No offense. Accept. A friend was having a chat with me. Basically, I was talking to her on the phone. I was driving. She was also driving. And then maybe someone was driving like a maniac around there, and she flipped and was verbally abusive over the phone. And she was like, she came like apologizing. But why should people drive like that? I said, come on, chill. And I'm like, and she, before even I could even start talking, she was like, I know you're always playing the devil's advocate. So what is the story? And I said, okay. So what if the person is rushing to an emergency? She said, no, he's not rushing to an emergency. How do you know? You don't know. But you have just made an assumption in your mind that you are probably monitored their movement for them to just come across that was it you like that. There are some maniac just on the road driving silly. But just as Bishop is saying, you never know the full story.
And that's not.
You never know the full story. I put my hand up. I used to have an issue with this. Back in my army days, and it's something that I have identified. But I'm refraining myself from using a particular phrase because I don't want to use that phrase. It will be just tagging and. No, yeah, I just want to avoid doing that. Where you can today, you see, go out, have a good laugh, laugh with someone, and I used to tell Hamad this all the time. So we go and have a function, and someone who normally we don't talk or we don't vibe in work. We have a social, we have a couple of drinks, and they're happy and all over the place, and they are into you like you're best buddies and that. And the next day you go into work, and this same person is like, they have just defaulted to what they used to be going. My naive, oh, okay, so from now on we are cool, and approaching them on the level of friendship based on what had happened the day before, what had happened what's it called, at the significant event before that, of me thinking, okay, well, now we are cool, and the person doesn't feel like, no, we are cool. It was only at that moment I've had a drink and I just felt like being cool with you, and that was it. I really struggled with that. I couldn't get my head around it. But over time, I'm like, oh, okay. So it's just a persona maybe the person is adopting. In this circle, I don't know what they're battling with, I don't know what they're dealing with, I don't know what my presence with them in the workspace reminds them of that makes them not want to be in quotes cool with me the way they were when maybe we're in the pub. I don't know what they're battling with. I don't know who they are, who is probably on their neck watching them in the way they relate with me that they want to avoid association and all that. I don't know. There are so many narratives that you can put to it. So why should I frustrate myself? Classic one, you see someone, you're looking at them with a smile and they are trying so hard to avoid eye contact, to walk away, but all you wanted to do, all you genuinely want to do is say, how you doing? And they are just avoiding, they are like essentially dreading you even opening your mouth to say hello.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about this. This is just, it's been something that it's bothered me for a long time until quite recently. And I'm like, if you say hi, I say hi. If you don't say hi, yeah, you know, but it's not in my nature to see people and just walk on. I can't do that. But if that is what they're choosing in that space, I don't know, depending on what, why should I? And to be fair, at some point, me being me, silly me sometimes, I will literally make, why you looking at me, come on, it's not going to hurt you to say nice. And they will still walk on anyway. So that tells me that's how they want to be. You understand? So I'm not going to kill myself just because I want to be nice, and supposedly in my mind, I think I'm being nice by smiling, but maybe to them that gesture is a threat. I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, okay, you were saying something, weren't you?
No, just saying. I'm in a similar situation. It's my new job. There's this lady there. You know, my new job. There's not a lot of quote unquote like
interaction there. Yeah.
Black guy. Let me use black for the sake of black people there. So
yeah.
She's a Caribbean. And when I started, like as you said, anytime I see this girl, she's got that frown face, and it's not only me who's noticed. Even Kojo said that. And I inquired, and apparently she's not really nice, you know. So I jumped onto the wagon. Me, I've even insulted her with Kojo a lot of times. Fast forward now, she's one of my best friends.
Your best friend. And now you have to go and undo
go to the gym together. Anywhere she see me, she would, you know. And I inquired further, and I realized why she's how she is. She's been in the job for a very long time. And because the job is a bit challenging, people come and within weeks they leave, within months they leave, within, you know. And so she's not had the opportunity to work with someone for a long time. So I think it's a form of defense mechanism. She's not very nice with like new people. Like she won't even bother to talk to you because I think in their mind, what's the point?
He's going to waste her emotions into you, and the next moment you're no longer there.
Yeah. And this lady, I've insulted her in my mind. She was like, you are this, you are this, you are that. You know, sometimes we sit here and talk, but when we go there, a lot of thoughts come to my mind. And then we go and say, Father, forgive us. This one is just a thought. But she's now one of my best friends. We go to the gym together. She'll come and get me. We work together, do everything together. So right last Rev was saying, you are saying, when you take your time to understand a bit more of the person, like you saying, Rev, if I'm working, people will be shouting. I've not even passed my probation yet. Everybody knows me. People will be shouting my name when I'm working. Well, because you know how I am. Yeah. Talking and laughing and I expect everybody to be like me. See me and smile, see me and wave, see you from afar and wave sort of person. But when you come to understand that it's not everybody everybody shouldn't be like you. Understand them for who they are and relate with them as they are. And when we understand that, we will be able to not judge quickly, not be offended quickly. Because we expect everybody to be like me. I want everybody, because I will say hello to you, I will expect people to say hello to me. People coming to work in the morning, and there's even if you greet them, they don't respond. Their face coming to work that early. I was explaining to somebody because he was complaining. I said, just let them be. maybe you're an early person. So there are some people, they are not early persons or early people. They wake up, somebody coming from home, maybe a bit of an argument from the wife, from the husband, allow them the space to be moody, go around when they feel comfortable to talk, and then have that conversation you want to have. I think when we're able to do that, it will minimize that sort of friction and that sort of quick judgment that this person didn't say hello to me, and I think this person always sees me and is moody or is found a face, so I think that he or she doesn't like me. When we take our time to begin to investigate or go around the person, understand why it is so, I think it will help us. So it's true. What you're saying is true. Take time to know the person. Don't be quick to judge because we don't have the facts. We don't have the facts. Okay.
And even sometimes when you have the facts, you might not be looking at it from the same perspective or with the same perspective. See? And all of life is subject to interpretation, as we say. I think we've done right in saying that we will allow ourselves 2 more weeks to look at the aspect of receiving, and in that I'll just chip this in, maybe as a prelude to subsequent discussions, where never see any human as your source of blessing. That only limits you and that reduces you. It doesn't empower you. The only thing that ever gives to us, or the only being or the only essence that ever gives to us, is life. And life may choose whatever channel to convey its benevolence to us. When we get fixated on expecting goodness from a specific source, a specific person, a specific somebody, we even create the room for offense. You know, like Chris, my friend, he knows I'm going through stuff, and he'll come to my aid. Oh, so has he not seen that I have not been paid the last 2 years? So how can't he do something about it? Oh, if he was really my friend, by now he would have sent some £300 into my account, knowing very well that times are hard. And then it becomes a burden. And then what you also do by doing that is begin to restrict the flow of the channels of blessing or the channels of goodness. God can bless you from anywhere. I'm using blessing here loosely in terms of, because when what we were talking about is in line with substance giving. So permit me to use that. It can come from anywhere. Just as you were saying earlier on that whoever turn up at your door with that rice and oil or whatever convenience goods they brought, they were the least person you were expecting that to come from. You understand? And I can bet that the day before you couldn't have predicted that they were going to bring anything to you. Exactly. It can come from anywhere. It's happened to me several times. I really didn't want to say this, but I'll say it. Maybe it will bless someone. Maybe it will bless someone. So there's a sister. If I give too much details, some people may know her, but yeah, quite dear. And she opened up to me this week, last week, in a way that also shifted my paradigm and humbled me. Because sometimes we talk about love, we talk about giving and all these things, Charlie. And to other, life can ruffle you in a way that you begin to question whether you really know what you think you know. All because you haven't really tested it. It's just been talk. So she opened up, and I'm saying this because I know it will bless someone. She wouldn't mind me saying this because nobody will even know the person I'm talking about apart from hearing it and knowing that she's the one I'm talking about. So it's fine, it's safe. So her parents died from HIV, and she got it. When she got it, the man that she was with at that time left her. Okay. Didn't even know that was the reason why the guy left. And she had a serious, the signs were there. She was frail, she was weak, she was losing weight excessively. She still kept to herself and decided to get herself back on track, be strong, knowing that it's not a death sentence. She can be all right. And then there was a gentleman who was in the same area, okay? In the same area that she was. Who had been seeing someone come to her and was thinking that that gentleman was the boyfriend, and he was like, oh, this guy I see come to you all the time. Who is he to you? I was like, oh, it's nothing, it's just a friend. Oh, really? Like, why do you ask? I was like, well, I like you. He's like, well, I don't like you. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. But the guy was persistent. He kept on it. Yeah, well, I feel strongly that we can get something going. One time she decided to be open and honest with this guy, like, not that I don't have any feeling for you. I do feel something for you, but this is the situation. Because of this, I can't put your life at risk, and I can't. And the guy was like, yeah, I understand, it's fine, but it doesn't really change anything. We can work around it. I want to be with you. What I'm telling you is not an Azizemu. It's not an Azizemu. This happened. This life, the person is still with it. And they've had they have had 2 kids. So apparently, from what she was telling me, the guy had been taking the drugs that she's supposed to ensure that he stays, or he stays without contamination or contacts or whatever, and does routine checkups to make sure that he's still okay. Their children, none of them carries it, and they have been living now for about 9 years. How does that tie in with giving? Remember when I asked earlier on whether giving is the evidence or substantiates love? That's what is bringing me to. This shifted me. If I were to read this somewhere on the internet, I would have said one of these stories that people comport and they kind of write to get us to understand the power of love and all these things. But this is no story. It shook me and blessed me at the same. This thing we call nature is God. Love, this universal givenness cannot sabotage itself. I'm done. You look like a Samsung and I say, "Oh, child, you never do that."
Okay, that.
I know you do.
Yeah, that.
Sorry, Bishop.
I see you're done, but you're not done.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I love anything about humanity so much that when I hear stories like this, I feel like I don't know. I mean, like this is. I mean, I know there's expression like humanity at its best, but I call it just humanity. That is being humanity. That's where it is. And this unique experiences or unique. I'm not, look, if this guy has said to anybody that I've met this lady, I don't even know what to say. Honest, I'm like, I don't have to say anything. Honest, whoa, I'm not surprised.
The guy, Bishop, the guy is he is a junior pastor of a well-known local Pentecostal church. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'm excited. This is it. So when it comes to some of the relationships and things, and then dealings, I want to take it one-to-one. I don't want to generalize because, like I said earlier on, experience. I mean, how do you explain this? Like the person tells you that this is my condition, and he said it doesn't matter. I mean, like, are you okay? Are you in bad? Of course, it's okay. There are some things that stays with you that you can't even share with others, and some things that I mean, I can preach. This person can preach, but it is not your experience, and so please don't take. And so please don't take it because I said it. If it's not your experience, do it in the bin. I said this all the time. This, you can't say use your mind. God has given us mind. You have to use your mind. Somebody just made this generalization that God has given us grace. God's not gonna sit there. I mean, come on. I love it. Ooh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, in all honesty, this week it has been the highlight of my week. I'm like, this is so rich.
So rich. Wow. It throws every theory, it throws every doctrine, it throws every most into the thing. I mean, come on. This is it. I remember one time something had happened, talking about being good to people and this and that. And I felt that I've done you guys good, I've done this and that and this. So I thought I had a position to say, why are you treating me this way? And I was walking, I'd gone for a walk. And I was rehearsing in my head that they have wronged me, they are wrong, how could they do that? And then I felt I heard universe, Holy Spirit, you name it, say to me, we don't get far with this thinking. And I'm like, wait, me? I mean, they are wrong, I'm right. I mean, they should apologize, they should this. And that's why he said, no, we don't get far with this thinking, drop it. And I'm going like, wait. Like, I mean, but of course I knew. So I just thank you, thank you, Soul, thank you, Lord, thank you, everything. So when I hear things like this, where I know I am so right, I know I am, but no. In the scheme of how he's dealing with you, in the scheme of how he's relating with you, please, it has to be that language, that level, that can know what somebody else is saying. And I dropped it. To me, I don't feel like, they've wronged me. I didn't feel like, they've done something wrong against me. No. Just he said to me, don't walk far with this thinking, drop it. And quickly. That sense of I'm right, I'm wrong, but that it just disappeared. And I carried on with I did. I didn't. Nobody even knows what I mean, my wife doesn't know who it was. But no. I mean, I'm just because you're talking about this, I need to bring it up. One time, please. One time I went to Russia, and somebody about 10 years ago, they had, rumors were flying about me, about all this, whatever. And one lady was at the center of it. And I was angry. I was angry. I went to Russia one morning, about 10 years ago. I said to myself, I'm going to deal with this person. Of course, then I knew about cursing and all that, maybe 10, 15 years. So online. So I had kind of, flexing my muscles to do this person damage, as we call it. And so I was flexing my muscles, and I had what he said to me, "What are you about to do?" I mean, I just and he said to me, "I've only called you to bless, never curse." And I asked him, what about this bishop? What about? I said, he didn't answer. He didn't tell me they are wrong. He told me, no, listen to me. I've only called you to bless, not to curse. So never open your mouth to say anything contrary to what I've said about people. That's, brother. I want my mom, I didn't do anything. I'm crocodile. I don't like, So he didn't say to me, oh, they are wrong. He didn't tell me. So me, I just deal with Milemu, and what I feel is the universe is guiding me and my path. And sometimes I share some of them. Some of the things I share, I just want me to be pastor, so I do pastor. I don't like to. Sometimes I do pastor. Like, I'm busy. Some quotations are interpret. I don't want to be. So I don't want to bother people with. So I just, the right I write about John chapter 10. I mean, if what I know about John 10 is not what I wrote. Anyway, let's move on. So I said from there to her, say no, say never open your mouth to curse anybody. But I said, but insulting, we did it. Say, listen, never only, but says bless only. Don't ever go there. And I said, but what about this bishop? He said, he didn't answer. He didn't tell me they are wrong or they are right. He didn't answer. He just said, listen to me. I'm telling you what, and then I left it. You see, so I love it, brother. Pastor, take it. It's okay. It's okay. you don't confirm me. There's something you doing me.
Oh,
This is it. It's okay. Take it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
sir.
too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shall we pray? Just want you to enjoy 3 holy breaths. And as you enjoy the sound, the sight, the smell, the feel, the touch of every sensation in your glorious body temple, this body lives inside you. And you have been and existed before accommodating this form that we see. And for me, that is what gives me the understanding when he says, or that's the understanding I have when he says that the body is the living temple of God. Father is infinite. Clear evidence that of which you have been known by whatever name anyone knows you has known itself from eternity past. The perfect power within each and every one of us knows how to make this body function perfectly. And with every breath of yours, this is what is being released. Perfect functioning of this glorious body system. That which is giving us the facility to be a blessing and a given in this space we find ourselves in that we call life. We walk in wholeness of mind and body, and we are grateful for the radiance of health through every fiber of our being, tissue, cells, organs, ligaments, sinews. It is all the time that in a million years we will not discover how to instruct, unless our senses aren't in the way, to instruct our lungs to breathe us, our intestines to break down food, or choose which elements of air our body keeps, or what is it called, our body keeps, and which elements of air it keeps out. All of this is run by this universal love intelligence, of which we are all a part, and which has availed all of its power to us, to you, for its own benefit and its own call. The same intelligence guides and directs all of our endeavors. That means we are certain for success in whatever color we want to define it. We are not alone. And as our collector's being, I want you to enjoy the sound, even as your soul resounds it as many times with the energy, with the same vibration. I am not here. The sacred life that is here, glorifying itself as you. And in this, we are fully satisfied and we are fully glorified. We issue the love that we are forth to all mankind, because humanity is all we have. And the love we give out returns to us perfect as a right companion. The love we give, the joy we give, the peace we give is the same we give. Because in this ecosystem, there's no laws, there aren't any excesses. What we give is still ours to keep. In this time and space called now, all our needs, past, present, future, are abundantly supplied. Peace of mind is our heritage. We are serene, we are sure, we are secure, we are safe. We are at one with all lives, acknowledging that there is no other power than the power that is the true Father, Mother of all of us, against which there isn't any adversary and there isn't any power contrary. In us, life begins itself anew every moment and finds its perfect expression through and within us. We choose newness in this time now and call it so. Amen. Normal life to us. IB24 is loading. I'm so excited. Bishop will be here. Lady Josephine will be here. BIT will be here. SOD will be here. Pastor K will be here. Mega refreshing time.